Images, Imágenes, San Miguel Pérez. It's happening in many communities throughout the state and the nation. The growth of small Latino businesses and the rise in the number of Latino entrepreneurs is visible in all the barrios. But in the city of Camden, the Latin American Economic Development Association, LAEDA, is implementing so many successful entrepreneurial and small business projects that it is serving as a model for economic development in other communities. By giving entrepreneurs adequate training and a helping hand to small businesses getting started, LAEDA has gained recognition as a model for New Jersey's urban redevelopment initiative. But how is this happening? What is LAEDA doing to develop success stories in Camden's Latino community? What can other communities learn from its staff and graduates of its training program? We're about to find out. With us today is Carlos Peraza, LAEDA's executive director, and 3 businesswomen who have taken advantage of the program. Linda Chang owns a beauty salon. Wanda Rivera Fiandra owns an auto glass shop. Both Linda and Wanda were recently recognized as LAEDA's Business Persons of the Year. And Beverly Ramos runs her own daycare center. She was recently recognized as LAEDA's Entrepreneurial Graduate of the Year. Welcome all to the program. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carlos, let's begin from the beginning. What is the association all about? How did it get started? Why was there a need for this association?
Well, the Camden Latino community always felt that there was a lot of potential for business owners within the community. So about 7 years ago, a group of community leaders got together and began the nonprofit association. And since then, we've been developing different types of training programs to help people start businesses and be successful at being business owners. We have a small business training and technical assistance program, helping people with individual needs in terms of the business development, such as applying for a loan or developing a business plan or coming up with a marketing strategy. And then we also have an entrepreneurial training program that takes people who are not in business but do have a business idea and puts them through a very intensive 9-week business training program with the end product being developing a business. One of the other areas that we also cover is doing some commercial real estate development. So in some instances, some of the businesses that we help start get located into buildings that we rehabilitate within the city, helping in redeveloping the city.
Now, can you say that there's been a noticeable difference made by your association since you got started? I mean, has the Latino community, business-wise, has it developed in a visible sense that you can go to Camden now and see that there's a difference because of the association?
Absolutely. I mean, in the entrepreneurial training program alone, we've helped set up and form about 50 businesses that have created close to 100 jobs with that program alone. So I think that some people that have begun businesses would have never been able to do so without the assistance and the expertise of LAEDA.
So the association is helping the community move forward.
Yes,
and it's also not only the business people, but the whole community is developing.
Yeah, the whole
city.
I think that by creating businesses, you're creating employment, you're creating a larger tax base for the city, you're attracting more customers to patronize those businesses. You're increasing safety on the streets because you have more people coming and shopping.
And what kind of support do you get from the city and from the state?
There's some support from the city in terms of money to run programs, but most of the support comes from private sector. Banks, foundations like the Campbell Soup Company, and some of the money that comes from the state is specifically to finance commercial development projects in the form of loans to do economic development.
I want to talk to you later on a little bit more about that, but why are these 3 ladies here? You take the time also to recognize some of the best business people of the year.
Yeah.
I want to go discuss with them individually a little bit about their business in particular, but tell me what it is that made you select them this year as business people of the year, 2 of them, and graduate of a training program of the year.
Because they're the best. I feel that they're leaders within the business community. They are women who have worked very hard to get to where they are, and they should be recognized. They are a role model for the community. they are involved with their communities in a civic aspect, and they're leaders in their businesses.
So when you say they're leaders in the community, they're not only concerned about their own business, but they're also concerned about helping other businesses?
That's right.
So they join the association in that sense?
And community programs helping with issues like Beverly is very involved with daycare issues and issues that affect children.
Okay, let's go to Beverly then. Tell me about your business, how you got started, what made you interested in opening a daycare center?
What made you? I'm a teacher, a group teacher for daycare centers. I work about 10 years in daycare centers. And after
Before you started your own business?
I have my background on children, early childhood education. Eventually I decided, this is something maybe I can follow up. But I was kind of afraid of doing it by myself until I found out about the LAEDA training. And I had called Carlos, set up an appointment with him, and explained to him what my dream was, and I wasn't too sure whether I would do it or not. And he said, well, I want you to make a commitment that if you come to the training, you're going to come to every single class, and you're going to follow your dream of opening the business.
So
and
was
I
he?
said, yes.
So he put a little pressure on you?
Yes, I would say yes. And plus, I'm the type of person, if I say to you, yes, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to go and take the training, because this training was very helpful. It's free of charge. And for me to go take the training and then just go home and continue working and follow up something else, it would have been a waste of time and money, where somebody else could have taken the training and followed their dreams. So I agreed to take the training, and it helped me very much in the business aspect. Like
you had not started your business then?
No, I was still working.
So when did you start your business, and how long have you had it?
I took the training while I was still working. And I graduated, and I was the second class back on 91. I did my business plan, I was still working, and I continued with my business plan. I graduated, and July of 92, I opened the business.
And how's it going?
Wonderful.
How many kids do you have in your center?
5. That's what I'm allowed, because it's right on the home. My living room looks more like a classroom.
Oh, I see.
And we do all kinds of activities, just like a big daycare center does.
And it's based right here in Trenton?
It's based in Woodland. It's like 5 minutes of the city of Camden.
Oh, Camden, I'm sorry. Wanda, how did your business get started, and how did LAEDA help you?
Okay. Our business was started back in 1983 by my brother, Pablo Rivera, with the financial backing of my parents, Olga and Pablo. I worked with him for 3 or 4 years before he actually decided he was going to move to North Carolina, and he wanted to sell the business. So, of course, he offered it to me and my brothers and sisters. We wanted to keep it in the family, and since we had knowledge of the business already, we decided to purchase it. We did get in touch with LAEDA and spoke to them, and basically they gave us some great information, and we bought it. Back in 1989, we purchased it.
And I understand that the business has expanded since then.
It sure has.
Tell me about that.
Well, when my brother initially started the business, he only had 2 employees. We now have 10 full-time employees. We also have a used auto parts business and a towing service. And we hopefully hope to open up another glass shop. Hopefully at Paul's Auto Glass too, this coming year.
This is also in the city of Camden?
Well, we already have the one established business there, so we'll probably expand outside of the city this time.
And I understand that you're also looking into doing some international sales, or...
Yes, with LAEDA's help, we went to the International Trade Conference that they held, NAFTA, and got some valuable information. Matter of fact, we've already shipped out Autoglass to the United Kingdom and Spain and Puerto Rico.
And how does that work? Is it a better deal for the consumer in Puerto Rico or in the United Kingdom to buy from you than to buy Autoglass there in their own country?
Well, it's funny. I got a phone call from a gentleman in England, and he was looking for foreign glass. And he says, I'm looking for a windshield for a Ford Mustang. And I thought to myself, foreign glass, yes, that would be foreign glass in England.
Right.
So he explained to me that the price for his windshield was like over $2,000 because it was difficult to locate and shipping and so forth. So I said, let me take your number and let me get a little more information, find out how much it'll actually cost you. So I got in touch with some shipping companies and, and looked up the price on the windshield and so forth. And it would only take us 3 days to ship him the glass. And I saved him over $1,800. I think it was like $200 and some odd dollars. So he was very, very pleased.
So you think that there is potential here for further business, this kind of business in the future, or for the need of American auto parts abroad?
I think so. I think so.
And
That's funny because we don't think of Ford glass being foreign glass in America,
Right.
So, yeah, one of the things that the Commissioner of Commerce and Economic Development, Gualberto Medina, is looking into is really figuring out ways to expand exports from New Jersey to other countries.
Of course.
So he's been very supportive of some of the work we've done in terms of putting together this conference and this kind of information.
He's been on
companies.
this program to talk about that.
Excellent.
But the idea is that, there's a lot of small Hispanic businesses. Of course, we speak Spanish. We can communicate with Latin America. We call them up and speak their own language. And we can provide services to Latin America now, especially because of NAFTA, that we perhaps don't think about. We think in terms of a small community that we serve here, but our businesses can be trading with Latin America, just like you have with England.
Yeah.
That's right. I think we're in a key position to take advantage of that because of language and the culture, and we know how to do business with our own people more so than anybody else. So I think that's key.
Linda, tell me about your beauty salon. How did it get started?
Well, like everybody else, started up with a dream. My sister and I became hairdressers. We worked for other salons. And then one day we just decided, here we are working for all these people, other places. So why don't we just open our salon? And from there on, we started. It took a little time of planning and really, thinking, how we're going to do this. So between my brother Tony and my sister Milan, we got together, work on a plan, and then we went to La Eda and they asked for their opinion on how we could get a loan. And then that's how we started our business. And it's been almost 4 years now since we've been in business, and we're doing so far so good, thank God, and the clientele is growing, a lot.
What is the name of the salon?
The salon is called Hair Impressionist. It's in Haddonfield Road in Pennsauken, and we have a pretty good location, which is very important. And with the help of La Eda and help of our family and a couple of friends, we were able to put it together, and we're so far, we're doing pretty good.
Do La Eda program graduates of the training program like you are, Beverly, or others who have benefit from the program share with each other? Or do they have sessions? Is there an opportunity to come to La Eda and say, hey, look, I had this experience with my business and this is how I solved this problem. Maybe you should try this solution?
I think one of the things that we do specifically with the entrepreneurial training program is we have a group of, like an alumni group of graduates that meets on a monthly basis, and they have they schedule different workshops and seminars to increase their knowledge, business knowledge. I know Beverly has been attending some of the sessions, and a lot of what happens there is also sharing some of the ideas and some of the problems that they faced, and talking about how they solve different problems, and giving each other ideas of how to do that. I think one of the things that I find that is really interesting about these business owners is that their businesses all reflect the whole idea of the extended Hispanic family and the unity of the family.
Yes.
And you'll see that a lot of the businesses are built with their families and with the help of the brother and the sister, and that's really interesting because the businesses are creating employment for their own families, but the families are also a support system for all of us within our community to start businesses, which is something that you might not see in other communities, and I think it's very important about our community.
So it's also the Hispanic community, which is a family, Laeda's family and your own family that's
That's
working
right.
together.
Yeah, and we also offer opportunity, like in my type of business, in my industry, I need hairdressers. So we've provided jobs to other people, you know, young hairdressers that they are coming in. And we also train them, you know, we just don't say, here is a chair. We give them quality training for, you know, the clients, and it works out. It's a great field.
Beverly, I understand that you also help train other people who are interested in daycare.
Yes, right now I'm very involved with the Division for Children for Camden County. And we have many Hispanic providers, but they were as lucky as me. They didn't have the LAEDA training. And what I have seen in many workshops when I go is they're lacking a lot of the information that they need to know to be successful in their business. So I have meetings. I just had a meeting in my home a couple weeks ago where I invited the providers. And we basically, it's not a formal meeting. We just sit around, we share ideas. They ask me questions, how I handle different things with the children or parents. I'm going to be doing some workshops for them through the division also. Because a lot of the problem is that they don't have the knowledge of the business aspect. Plus, the language is a lot of the barrier too.
One of the, about 4 or 5 years ago, we did a pilot program with our family daycare providers and did some business training for them. And the Division for Children in Camden County adopted some of this training as part of the curriculum to help people who wanted to go into the family daycare business. And they're still doing that.
Yes, they do a lot of trainings. Basically, every month there's a different training for the family daycare providers.
Carlos, you mentioned a couple of the programs, and I'd like you to outline them again for, in the very beginning, we may have missed exactly what LAEDA was all about, but tell us specifically which are the programs that fall under LAEDA.
Okay, we have our Business Training and Technical Assistance Program, which is basically individual technical assistance and workshops and seminars and business aspects. We have our Entrepreneurial Development Training Project, which is a very intensive training for new business owners like Beverly. And we have our Neighborhood Commercial Real Estate Development Program that acquires and rehabilitates commercial real estate within neighborhood commercial strips. Mostly real estate that has been vacant or empty for many years. We began the first state charter community development credit union in New Jersey, the Camden Community Credit Union, that about a year and a half later now has 1,500 members and about $2 million in assets. And we're also doing some research into different business development models like business cooperatives and that sort of thing.
Tell me about revitalizing some of these areas that have been run down, and you're actually helping to revitalize certain strips, commercial strips that are abandoned or run down or out of business, and bringing them back to life?
Yeah, we've done some work, particularly in the eastern part of Camden on Federal Street. We help organize the business owners in the area. We help implement a facade improvement program, and we're also doing some of the physical rehabilitation of properties that have been abandoned within the strip. But I think what's key for a city like Camden is to have people like them start businesses, create jobs for the community, and create job opportunities for the community. Because a lot of the problem is that people don't have jobs, or people don't have training to be able to get jobs.
Are there people coming to you from other communities to see what you're doing, to learn from your example? I understand that you've been a sort of a model for certain other communities that are looking into how to do certain things that they're not doing, but you are.
As a matter of fact, I have some people coming down tomorrow from Jersey City. But yes, we've gotten a lot of requests from people throughout the state, and actually from anywhere from Florida to Boston, in looking at that are looking at doing similar type of initiatives that we have done. Mm-hmm. So we are helping out. We're also helping out some other communities in New Jersey. Some folks from Atlantic City are going to be meeting with me soon. They're trying to start a similar program there.
One that must feel good to provide additional jobs. When you mentioned earlier that when your business got started, you had two employees.
That's right.
And now you have 10.
Yes.
So you feel like you're contributing to the community by employing more.
Absolutely, absolutely. We also want to start a small little dealership in Camden. We're trying to purchase a piece of property now. Hopefully we'll be able
Car
to employ.
dealership.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Used cars.
So you're
Used
not only going
cars.
to sell the parts, now you're going to sell the
Hopefully,
whole.
hopefully we got our
automobile.
license, so
Okay.
let's hope so. Hopefully we'll be able to employ even more, more people in the city. So.
It must give you, Carlos, a sense of reward to see women like this being successful after you or your organization helped them out, and not just that, but when we talk about these revitalized commercial strips, just driving through them for you must be an experience, right? I mean, you feel like you're really accomplishing something.
Well, once in a while something happens that really makes you feel good. So I think that really the credit goes to the people that, like them, that have the initiative and the guts and the drive to do what they've done.
And the families.
And their families.
Mostly the
For us,
families.
Definitely.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do it without my brothers and sisters and my parents.
I feel the same way. It's such a great help, to get us, support like that from the family, because of financial reasons too,
Is it predominantly for Latinos, exclusively for Latinos? What is LAEDA? Who is LAEDA for?
No, the program is open to everyone. Although about 60% of our clients are Latinos, the other 40% or so are mostly African Americans. But so it's open to everyone.
Now, are there special problems that minorities, both African Americans and Latinos, are facing? Specific problems that we face that perhaps other people don't face in starting a business, in getting ahead, in confronting certain barriers? Tell me about that.
I mean, we found, and we've done a little bit of research and surveys to find out what some of these problems are. But I mean, one of them, in terms of the Latino community, with some of us, is language and cultural barriers. And I think that people that don't know the language, and people that don't know how to deal with banks or how to deal with the IRS, then there are certain barriers, and you need to learn how to deal with these institutions. And then over and above that, I think that for minorities in general, it's real difficult to get financing because you don't have as
Most
much
importantly.
equity.
And that's
Assets,
true.
right.
We couldn't get any financing when my brother first started the business. My parents had just finished paying off their house, and they signed the house over to him, and that's how he acquired his loan for the business. Otherwise, LAEDA was not around at the time. So
does LAEDA do something in terms of dealing with the banks so that they open their mind and their checkbook a little bit?
Yeah, we bug them all the time. We're after them all the time. I remember when we were working with Linda to get that loan. I mean, it takes a while. It takes a lot of talking to them, a lot of follow-up, a lot of pressure. And if you're not on top of them, many times you're not going to be able to get the
I
financing.
wish you were around.
So Linda, tell me about how you got your loan.
Well, first of all, we had to use our parents' home as, equity, collateral. That's right. And that's, how they finally approved it. It took them a little while. We had to actually go to people, like family, and friends, and we borrowed to open it because we needed to open the salon by a certain time. So when the money finally kicked in from the bank, then we were able to use that money and pay people back. But it was a little bit of, they had to put pressure, like he said, and we finally got it. It took time.
I mean, one of the things that we've used successfully is we use the Small Business Administration loan guarantees, and I think we use that for your loan, Linda. Which is basically the federal government offering a guarantee to the bank just in case the business owner cannot pay off the loan. Now, the city of Camden has a program called CBAC, which is a program only for businesses in the city, to finance only business in the city. So it makes it a little bit easier to get financing for business in the city. But still, it's very difficult.
Now, do you, over the years, do you see the banks opening up a little more, seeing the success of La Eda when La Eda goes to them now? Or do they have a little bit more respect for what you're doing and maybe take you a little bit more seriously?
I think that one of the things that's happened is that they feel that if a client gets referred by La Eda or a client has gone through our training, it adds credibility to the client, that if the client just walk off the street without having our backing. So yes, it does help, not only with the banks, but also with the Small Business Administration and some of the other financial institutions that give financing to small businesses.
So for potential clients who may want that influence, is there a number they can call?
They could call 609-338-1177.
338-1177, area code 609, and I'm sure people from all over the state, not only who may benefit directly from La Eda in Camden, but from all over the state who may want your advice, may be calling you at 609-338-1177. Thank you very much, all of you, for being here. We wish you the best of luck. Time flies on this program. We're almost done. But we're very happy to have you, to have had you here, and we wish you the best, and congratulations for being named Business Persons of the Year.
Thank you.
Carlos, you're doing a wonderful job. Keep it up.
Thank you very much.
My name is Miguel Perez, and I'll see you next week on another edition of Images Imágenes. Hasta pronto.